There's really no losers when you're watching this match. There's only good magic. One way or another, you're going to be pretty happy if the player you're rooting for wins. And in this matchup, we're just looking to see who gets the perfect Swiss record. Both these players already locked for top 8.
Locked for top 8 today, locked for our championship tomorrow. This one is for seed and for a little bit of pride. Can't discount that.
I mean, how awesome would it be to tell your friends, yeah, I went undefeated in the SCG Tour Online Championship Qualifier this past Saturday.
Hell of a thing.
It's hard, too. This is Sandy Dog MTG. This is Grand Prix champion, Sandy Dog MTG Brandon Burton, against Mythic Championship winner Autumn Burchett.
Oh yeah, the 7-round field, it might evoke a thought of like a local PTQ for a lot of players, but this is a world-class field that we're playing in today. You can see from these two players here.
Yuki Ichikawa is in this tournament. Paulo Vitor Dominarosa. Yeah.
Paulo Vitor Dominarosa.
Oh in a million.
Won no matches. Brandon Burton, a nice setup here. Curving out, we see Fervent Champion, Runaway Steamkin's got unchecked for a bit. Robert the Rich is looking to give that Steamkin its third counter. Burchett is on 13. We see a dispute on the Robber, but that Steamkin is providing Torbrand mana. Yeah, Burton's excited about that one.
Yeah, whenever Runaway Steamkin gets fully online, boy, I'd tell you what, I get fully online, because that is a nice one.
Big swing for 10, Burchett to 3. I don't know how you can deal with this many lethal creatures.
I mean, I haven't double-checked Autumn's list, but I don't think there's any Stormwrath in the main deck. It is rare to see Stormwrath in the main, or at the very least, it's more than a 1 or a 2 of. And that's all she wrote. Brandon Burton takes down game 1 in a lightning-fast fashion, as is customary for the mono-red aggro deck.
In fact, Burchett's full 4 Stormwrath are on the sideboard. You cannot see their screen right now. You gotta imagine those are coming in. So we see Burton adapting a little bit to the teamer matchup. We've seen Tybalt come in for Burton multiple times, turning off the life gain of Uro. And kind of a fun one. I haven't seen this card cast yet, but Subira is being board in once again.
Oh, yeah. I want to see that one. I want to see what it does. That seems cool. One thing to note is that these Team of Reclamation decks and ban control decks, they're all very much heavily metagaming to beat each other. That means way more cards like Mystical Dispute in their main decks. For some, it means splashing a 4th color for Teferi Time Raveler, which we saw a lot this event. And what that does, it actually opens up the door for decks like Mono Red or Mono Black aggro to really step on the toes of these decks that are really infighting. And when a metagame becomes so, just like, I don't want to say inbred, but like, you know what I mean? Like they're just fighting each other so much that it becomes much easier as a mono red aggro pilot to dominate the field with just a consistent, low to the ground, good deck.
Yeah, you're rooting for every Mystical Dispute that makes the main deck. You're a little less happy about every Ether Gust, but if there's not any Scorching Dragonfires, if that number is going down, you're pretty happy about that too.
Yeah. You may have just seen what I like to call the Moto bug, where Sandy Dog's hand was 2 Castle Emperor, 3 Mountain, and like 2 random spells. He clicked the mulligan button. All the land stayed there, and then 2 different random spells came in.
After keeping an OK 6, Burton has drawn the dreaded double Ember Cleave, the triple cleave.
No! Oh, this not like this, .gif.
Live by the cleave, die by the cleave. We saw Burton kind of looking for it in some games earlier. This time, well, he's found them, but he's found too many of them.
Yeah, one of the dangers of playing such an expensive card, as well as an expensive card that is legendary, these Ember Cleaves are unlikely to do that much in this game. The first one might be good enough, but the second and third one are going to be pretty bad about helping him get across the finish line.
Ember Cleave with Living Weapon when? If you're gonna keep making the good blue and green cards, we gotta juice the red cards a little bit more.
All right, here's a question: what would a mono red Oko look like?
It would like plus. I think it would plus to deal 10 damage.
Yeah, like I want to see the 3 mana red planeswalker, right? That's Liliana the Veil good. That's Oko Thief of Crowns good. Why don't I ever get that?
Oh, I mean, those two things are very different.
Well, I mean, yes, but when do I get them? That's
yeah,
what I want to know.
That okay? You got me back. Right, so Burton ends up trading Robert the Rich with a Shark token. Not ideal, especially with a hand just left over with some Ember Cleaves against an opponent on 17. The one good thing going for Burton is that he did win game 1.
Yeah, but this game looks like it might be slipping a bit out of reach.
Mountain off the top. I guess that can cast an Ember Cleave with one attacker.
You know what? Can you just for once in your life, Ryan, can you believe in the Cleave?
This is the time. This is the time. It is literally Ember Cleave versus the world in the sense that Ember Cleave is going to have no help here, just jumping on a 1/1.
Well, sometimes all you need is a little push. No!
Ether Gust.
Look, that one could go on the bottom. That's okay. I got this backup one.
Yeah, don't need to draw that Cleave again. Thank you.
What do you think's going through Autumn's head when he just snap bottoms the first Ember Cleave? You're just like, oh god, another one's coming.
I mean, the texture of the game kind of dictates that Burton isn't just teaming with creatures in hand, right?
Mm-hmm. Why you gotta make so much sense, Ryan? Why can't you just let me? This game is effectively over. We're gonna see Sandy play it out for about 2 more turns, I believe, and then we'll get a tight concession. But Burchett here, the Euro cranking in, still over 20 life, and this is like turn 5 or 6 at least. The game is pretty much wrapped up.
Storm's Wrath. That sure doesn't kill Uro. How about a 6 mana Ember Cleave on an empty board? That is usually not the play from the winning team.
Yeah, I'm just like, dude, it's got flash. What are you doing?
Yeah, and step it. Come on. No, this is been a consistent play pattern for Burton. See 10 Street Dodger here. You see Castle Embreds. Multiple times we have seen Burton use all of his mana so that Arena stops giving him priority. And you know what? I love it. I love it.
It's like there's already that information leak. Like, you know. I wouldn't be surprised to see him activate it 3 times.
Activate Dodger. Concede game. This also will stop from getting priority. We are going to game number 3 here. This time, Burton gets to be on the play, hopefully with 7 cards, hopefully with fewer than 2 of them being Ember Cleave.
Yeah, I mean, that's the thing. It's one of your best cards, but holy moly, it's bad in multiples. The second one sometimes is okay if the first one gets hit with an Ether Gust or something, you know. Yeah,
the presence of Gust definitely changes it. Also, just like the surprise factor, if the matchup is about blocking, can be a big deal. You know, you legend rule away the first copy. That can be something that happens in a game that you win. But 3 copies, no creatures. That's not going to do it.
Well, you know what is going to do it, though?
That first hand was so good, if not for double Castle Embereth and a very disciplined mulligan from Burton there.
Yeah, I was really rooting for the keep, but I completely understand the mulligan. On the play, you cannot miss a 1-drop, you know.
See a solid 6 here. Gonna end up being 3 lands, Tin Street Dodger, Scorchbitter, and Tybalt, so a fine curve.
Yeah, and one that the Team Rec deck from Autumn might not be able to handle if they don't have one of those sweeper effects early in the game.
Sweepers are big. Burton also really looking for exactly Steamkin on 2. Looking for Ember Cleave. Torbran, that's an okay pickup. You still get the Dodger on this turn, so damage is coming. You see an attack with the Dodger and the Scorchbitter.
Yeah, damage is coming. Tybalt's coming down next turn, and Autumn's going to have to start interacting really soon. Or else just the damage from Scorchbitter alone is going to start adding up.
Decent draw here. Land number 4 for Torbern, a little ahead of time. Looks like both creatures connecting again. Burchett to 14, and here is Tybalt.
You have to imagine there's some sort of answer here from Autumn. Maybe it's just Growth Spiral, but I wouldn't be surprised to see just like a handful of Ether Gust here from Autumn to start cleaning up stuff like Tybalt.
There is Ether Gust. Tybalt's going to go back on top. I like that top from Burton because it almost makes it look like he needs to draw the Tybalt, but the plan is probably just jamming this Torbern, and there is the big dwarf.
Yeah, and this is so much damage so quickly, and Autumn's already down to 8 life. Gust into Euro, and then on your turn 4, you're at 8 when you untap.
And this is a huge check for Storm's Wrath. Burchett not moving quickly.
Okay, I don't know what happened, but it looked like...
Oh, it's the Soul Seer. Soul Seer took down the Torbern. Right, so the little creatures are still there. Tybalt shows up, makes a devil. Burchett to 5 off of attacks. Red Cap Melee picked up by Burton. That's an interesting one. I suppose it cuts down most sharks.
Yeah, it cuts down most sharks for 1 mana. Clears the way. I don't know how much I really like it, but I mean, it does a thing very specifically. And again, I'm literally never going to question Brandon Burton when it comes to playing him on a red deck. If he says to bring in your Red Cap Melee against Team of Reclamation, then by God,
oh, yeah. I mean, definitely don't interpret me as questioning him.
Oh, no,
I just would like to understand the why better.
Look, I am jumping into the shoes of every Twitch chat reply guy right now and just preemptively shutting that down.
Right, an escape on Uro. Remember, Tybalt's going to turn off that life gain. It's not on the level of the Narset Blinking Red, but Tybalt Blinking Red is kind of a nice one on the red side of things.
All right. Land here. Is that lethal? I think that's actually lethal. Melee on the
cut
shark.
Down that shark, activate the castle, 2 unblocked creatures, Scorchbitter trigger. That's exactly 5.
That sounds like a GG right there.
And we were playing for first seed. This means Brandon Burton is going to be 7-0. On to our top 8 here. We're going to see him tomorrow for our